This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
He has time.
He's
Off
got
the left
him.
side. Dobbs is there. Leaping grab. Touchdown. Touchdown.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Ken and Ken in the Morning. Good morning, Motown Mitch. We like to say the Lion. What do you say? The Lions rule and the Bears rule. Yeah, I've got a simple response to you.
No, you're not. Yeah, no, you're not. No, you're not. Stop.
You're learning so many important things, and I'm so proud of you.
Good morning, Brent.
My question is do you gotta pay a usage fee to John Dorn every time you show that for the same old Lions?
No, I do not. No, I do not. Not for the one and done Lions, the Fool's Gold Lions, the same old Lions, the John Dorn's favorite team in the NFC North Lions.
Okay, you had me all the way to that point.
So what a morning! What a morning! It's been a while since I've been able to use that stuff. Let me see. Here's another good one in the file of good stuff on Ken and Ken in the Morning.
Described him as one of the most dangerous men on the face of the earth.
Yeah, but remember, he's only dangerous at a Diddy party.
Well, that's what Jordan Love was all that time at the Diddy party. Oh, geez.
Oh no, he couldn't get in because Caleb took all the seats.
Yeah, Mitch, we'll give it to you. You're still kings of the north until someone dethrones you. That is actually a fact. They do have them every so often. No, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine.
I was gonna say, as a Packers fan, we're used to a team coming up for a year or two and pretending to be relevant till they get regulated back down.
Yeah, I mean the Lions haven't been relevant in like 3 decades, so we'll give them their moment in the sun. That's fine. Maybe they'll get to a Super Bowl eventually. They're the oldest team in the NFL to have never played in a Super Bowl, which I find to be amazing. I mean, even the Vikings, who are the biggest choke artists on the face of the planet, have made it to a Super Bowl. But not the Detroit Lions. Maybe this will be their year. Nah. But I love the Lions fans. Do you still have that picture? The Lions fans who get the Super Bowl trophy and they just scratch out the years. This guy got a tattoo. Ken has a picture. You can find it. The guy did, Lions Super Bowl champions with the trophies and had the year, and they didn't win. So then the line through it, and he put the next year, which now they have to put another line through it.
All I got to do is switch to my regular account. I got this shit. Don't you worry.
Well, see, we got you covered here at Ken and Ken in the Morning. While he's doing that, though, just to be fair, here, look, just so y'all can, don't do it, guys. Don't pet other dogs, okay? This is what's going to happen. All right? This is what's going to happen to you. And you know what? Look, if you're a cat owner, you know. you know. So, a little cat and dog humor can look for that. Nothing new, really, except, the Aaron Rodgers saga kind of will continue until he makes up his mind. I don't get this with Aaron, right? Well, his process to decide whether he's playing or not is just, I don't know if he's trying to be a diva about it, or if it's honestly taking him this long to decide. But dude, come on.
I think a lot of it is that he wants to be 100% sure with the debacle that happened down there with the New York Jets.
But when you know, you know. Come on, this isn't rocket science, right? You when you know, you know. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
There's one.
And this is, now check this out. A year later, we got a picture of the same dude.
Wait, hold on. That might have been the same one. Yeah, that was. Hold on. God damn it. Here.
All right. A year later, now look at Mitch. Love you, brother, but this guy right here doesn't help your fan base. And then a year later, the same guy doubles down. At this rate, he's going to have years going all the way down to his fingertips. I'm just saying.
Oh. The tattoo artist that did that is just absolutely loving this because he knows he can at least hit him for a quick $50 every time.
Every time. Every time. Yep. Morons of the internet. We found one. He keeps getting the Super Bowl tattoo.
Hey, I'm not against somebody going out and getting a Super Bowl tattoo and all that. You want to support your team, great. But wait till after they win the motherfucker.
If you guys want to go get a Kenny,
that is literally just as bad as Zadarius Smith before even playing in the playoff games, going out and making himself a Lions Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
That's this shit like touching the trophy before the game. That's a huge no-no. You just know you fucked everybody.
Well, at least the Bears have not signed to Darius Smith, so that's a good thing. He won't be completing work.
Give it some time. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, Brent. Yeah, you kidding?
I guarantee you there is.
I wonder if maybe do an internet search, see if we can.
I'm right on it right now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna look that up. See if I because KC fans have been so arrogant the last couple years. In a degree, rightfully so. I had almost bet dollars to bet.
Your microphone's doing the thing again.
What now?
Your mic was doing the thing again.
Stupid. There you go, Mike. He's gonna get a 3-peat off-season champ tattoo. Oh my God! It looks like Ken found something. Can't wait to see it up here on the screen. With Aaron Rodgers, I was like, dude, you know. This whole thing, dude, no, he knows. He's just dragging it out at this point. It does. In his heart, he knows. It's almost like he's being dishonest about it. I think Ken's gonna try to get it up here.
Yep. Oh, and this one's fucking priceless.
Oh goodness.
Oh yeah. Granted, I got to do a little editing because it wouldn't save, so I got to.
What? Oh, bad.
Because I'm pretty sure nobody cares about the 800 notifications I have on my phone.
No. You can check your email once in a while. Just think.
It would probably be a good idea. I rarely do.
Oh, by the way, Cam Ward, excuse me, is meeting with the Titans the second time, so that might be the direction they go. Oh, nice, sweet. We'll get to see Mike on show Sunday for Hell Off. Excuse me. Here it comes. I'm just gonna sit here and wait.
There you go. Oh, that's
Wait a minute. No, that one's okay. Isn't it? Yeah,
oh wait, no, yeah, no, that one does have the missing ear.
that one's
Okay.
legit.
All right, hold on. Give me a sec. Don't worry, I will find it.
Where are your glasses, Ken? Gee, that's kind of a cool looking tattoo, though. In a way, it's different.
My glasses are right here now.
There we go. There we go.
Oh my god, this isn't a three-peat, but it's way fucking worse. And I mean way worse.
Hey, Ken and Kevin Morty, we looked down the rabbit hole of bad tattoos by fans who thought they were going to win.
Oh god.
Tattoo brought to you by Dorn Tattoo Inc.
This is something else, guys. You're going to have to prepare yourself for this one a little bit. Let's just say John Sullivan would approve of this tattoo. The stamp. Oh my god. No way. No fucking way. There's more than one person that has a. Because there's one with a red helmet and there's one with a white helmet.
Oh my god. I tell you, man, it's like don't get it tatted till it happens. Otherwise the whole city will blame you. Yeah, there's some really nice Kansas City Chiefs tattoos I'm seeing down there. I mean, some of these tattoo artists have the skill. Anywho, while Ken searches for that, right now we know the Lions never. The Lions fans do not get any more tattoos. I'm just telling you. Do not do it. Bears fans, there's one or two of you out there. I've seen them in the past.
my God. I found two more Lions ones while I was looking for it. My God.
Gotta look.
Oh, okay. It's starting to look like nobody was stupid enough to get the three-peat tatted. And post it. Let me phrase that properly.
I look at it. I have two tattoos going. One is the wedding band, right? And then the other one is good old glory, but it's a flag that morphs into the OD green deployment flag. I know you don't know much about that, John. But yeah, I will never get a tattoo of a player on top. There you go, Brent. Brent's smart. He likes Brent. Oh,
I've only got one, and if you've seen any of the specials where you've seen my exposed chest, you have seen it.
oh goodness.
We're giving Ken fucking Nom flashbacks with that one.
Oh my. Joe, save me, please.
Oh
Thank you, Brent. We're talking about bad tattoos right now, especially for Lions fans. You know, we had to re-show the guy, you know, whoever year crosses the year off. I don't see Raider fans getting those kinds of tattoos either, to be honest.
Some do. My brother has one. He has one on his arm, but he got it professionally done at a shop that, you know, so it looks cool, but
yeah, but he didn't do something like this, did he? Hold on. He didn't do anything like that, did he?
No, he got the Raiders shield, but instead of the guy with the face, it's like a skull.
Oh,
That one's legit. That Andy Reid one's kind of legit.
I think that one's stupid as hell.
That one's legit.
To me, it's almost as bad as this one.
No, because that one's bad. But that one, like the Andy Reid black and white, simple on the ankle. Obviously, it's a female ankle. That one's kind of cool, but I wouldn't get it.
How dare you assume her gender, Ken?
Jesus.
I mean, it is a Kansas City fan, so to be fair.
That's what I'm saying. It's a Kansas City fan. You don't know that that's a woman. But to me, getting a tattoo of an NFL team, yeah. And I love the Raiders. Like, I've loved them my whole life. Like, and I don't have one.
Because, I mean, I can understand that. It's the team is part of your life. But to have a player tatted on you, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, a player is even worse.
I have unfortunately stumbled down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, it looks like you have. Let me see. There you go. Thank you for bringing us back to reality there, Bear Down Mike. Are the rumors true? Cleveland tried to trade that. I didn't even heard
the rumor.
All these rumors. What did I tell you?
And no.
I didn't even hear that rumor yet.
Yeah, I saw that rumor.
But
come on, man. How could the Cleveland Browns possibly afford Dak? Like, they're still paying Deshaun Watson. There's no way that they could afford both of those contracts.
Look, that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
This is what it feels like in the off season. For sure.
See, the Purdy one at least kind of made sense, Like,
I got a little guest in the studio. Good morning. Got the young podcast now.
There was Purdy was rumored to Cleveland, and now Dak is rumored to Cleveland.
I mean, the Purdy one.
To be fair to our Lions fans that are watching, and that you're not the only team that has made some bonehead tattoo ideas about winning Super Bowls that never came to fruition. We've got ourselves a whole montage. Oh.
Wait, put it back up real quick. See if anyone remembers. No.
Yeah, no, they all look terrible.
I mean, look at the guy who got the Texans one. That one looked probably the best of all of them. I mean, the Lions
but that's like asking which flavor of dog turd do you like the most. All those answers are going to be terrible.
Yeah, they're all terrible. Yeah, Purdy to Cleveland would make more sense because San Francisco's kind of cleaning out the house, so to speak, with contracts. But they're trying to do that failed grasp, right? Like, we're going to rebuild as we compete. It's like, has that ever worked for any team ever?
That's what worked.
Like the whole, we're going to rebuild. We're not going to tear it down and rebuild, but we're going to try to
retool, restock through the draft.
No, I mean, well, yeah, but I mean, like we're gonna get rid of key pieces and try to restock it through the draft. Yeah, it still be competitive. I don't think that really has ever really worked. Like
the Patriots did it throughout their 20-year dynasty. They had no problem getting rid of guys like Stephon Gilmore and.
But with them though, it was more of a maintain. They didn't get rid of players who were at their height or still at this high level. Like San Francisco's doing it because of financial reasons. When guys left New England, It was just their time. Their career that was it. And they had a plan in New England where they had a guy already coming up, or they'd go sign a good free agent. Yeah, they'd have 2 or 3 years, maybe between Super Bowl, 2 years so between Super Bowl. But that situation is different than what San Francisco is doing. San Francisco is doing that. Okay, our window happened. We made a couple Super Bowls. We didn't win them. Now we can't afford this team, and we have to start jettisoning people to the contract. And we're going to try to rebuild. Like that version never worked, because what New England did was different.
I mean, you're, to a point, you're right. But I also I can remember a couple of people that New England got rid of that still had gas in the tank, like Wes Welker, Stephon Gilmore, Richard Seymour still had some gas in the tank. Like Bill Belichick didn't have a problem getting rid of certain guys like that were young or younger, like.
But I mean, they never look at just look at free agency. They've lost 2 defensive starters, an offensive starter, and then they traded an offensive starter. That's 4 starters they got rid of this year, at least. I might be missing 1 or 2. New England, it was never like that. It wasn't like this big, like we got rid of 4 or 5 starters. They would.
No, you're right. They never had a fire sale like that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, so what San Francisco is doing, I don't think it's going to work. And especially if they get rid of their last really good receiver, who's pretty throwing to. And Kittle is Kittle. I love Kittle. Now he's got injury issues, so he's probably going to miss a few games. They got CMC, which is great, but now that he's almost the only weapon left.
Yeah. Honestly, I think they should tear it down to Bosa and just rebuild. Tear it down to the studs, man.
Yeah, Luka. No, that was Luka. The only thing you did was swap out the quarterback. Your defense pretty much stayed the same. You still have weapons, right? You didn't get rid of your receiving core. I mean, what you guys did is say, well, we're going to insert a rookie quarterback here, and we like the situation we're putting him in, and then you end up with Ginger Jesus, and you had a great season. And when you made the move at defensive edge, you took one pass rusher who was pretty good and replaced him with another one that was pretty good. So, I mean, that's different than what San Francisco's doing.
I mean, right now, I think they could get a first-round pick for Purdy. If a guy like Burrow can get 3 multiple first-round picks, or Josh Allen, Purdy can't get 1. There's somebody who will be sold on what he's done in San Francisco, even though I don't believe it's all Purdy. I'm just saying,
okay. And what if Ayuk gets traded before the draft?
Oh, dude.
I think they should. I think that they should have a fire sale. They should get rid of Kittle. They should get rid of all their big contracts. Fred Warner. I think they should start over.
You guys are just trying to get me all hopped up on hopium that we're going to trade for another fucking big name fucking guy, and then I'm just going to have to jump off a cliff.
I think they should keep Nick Bosa, but that's it.
The Packers won't. We won't shoot you full of hopium. Because Goody won't. I don't think Goody would do it. I mean, no, you guys just don't really trade your draft picks often. I don't think.
And what pisses me off is, they were engaged in talks too. Well, if you'd stop trying to offer a ham sandwich for one of the best players in the league, we might get one of these fucking trades done.
And you know what the sad thing is? And really, if you look at their last wide receiver they traded, Debo, for a 5th rounder, what are you? A 4th rounder for San Francisco? Because they got rid of Debo for a 5th.
I would say no less than a 3rd, because he's a lot younger, and
Hello, my name's the New England Patriots. I'll give you a 3rd round pick.
Yeah, and they have the cap space.
Yeah,
to take on his new contract. But that's what I'm saying is Ayuk goes for a 3rd. Fred Warner probably a 2nd, maybe a 3rd. But he's the best linebacker in the game.
Wait,
Kittle's worth a 3rd at this point. Maybe a 4th.
Mike, you need to expand on that. What conditions in the contract will void it? And yeah, I don't know if Kittle's worth a third though. I think Kittle might get you a fourth.
Yeah, like I said, Kittle's worth a third, maybe a fourth.
Yeah.
Like, Warner is definitely worth like a second or an early third. Like, I mean, there could even be a team that might be willing to give you a first round pick for Fred Warner. He's still producing at a high level. And then you just drafted Pearsall last year, right? So you have one young receiver, then you have Juwan Jennings. Like, you have a couple of good running. Well, you got rid of Mason, but you still have Garendo and CMC. Like, I would get rid of CMC's contract too, but
you gotta embrace the suck first season is what it comes down to.
Yep.
And I think what they were talking about, they're talking about, well, where the Browns' options about getting on Kane Watson. That's where Mike would say there's conditions. And one of them, the morality thing, the clause in the NFL contract. But like, if he's out for the year, that his money doesn't count against the cap. He's going to be on the IR for the year. And I think they already said he's out for the year. That cap money they can utilize for the year.
Yes, but he also restructured his contract to where I'm pretty sure the end of the guaranteed money portion comes at the end of this season coming up. Granted, I know his contract was fully guaranteed, but that was part of them renegotiating it with him. What, like 2 months ago or something like that, whenever the hell it was?
I actually read that it's not till next season.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, is at the end of this season.
No. Like the end of
end of next season? Okay.
The end of next season.
Then I might have misunderstood what they were saying.
They might be willing to take a hit for a season. But like, for them, a great case scenario is he's going to get paid this year, but he's not going to count against the cap because he'll be IR. And with the NFL rules, they'll be able to freeze up at least a portion of that cap money. But yeah, I don't know. Cleveland's a hot mess. But like, going back to San Francisco, I agree with Joe, man. Like, they need to just trade CMC, trade Kittle. Look, if you've got your young quarterback, maybe you keep Bosa, because really you got to keep something to at least be somewhat competitive. But you can get a lot you might be able to get more for Bosa than Kittle though. So maybe even get rid of Bosa. Maybe get rid of like Bosa and CMC, because they might be the best two pieces you have for return on investment, like as far as getting capital back. And you just doesn't look what Detroit did. Look what Chicago's done. Look what the Vikings kind of did a couple years back when he started. Look what a couple of these teams have done with taking it down, having your quarterback, and building. If you can even trade for linemen, offensive and defensive, younger guys, 23, 24, 25 years old, right, and some draft capital, and yeah, Purdy, duck and cover this year. And for a year, maybe you're really bad. But next year, you're better. And the year after that, you're back in the window. Yeah.
And the Niners have shown that they draft really well, like with John Lynch. Like,
say he's a hell of a general manager. I will give him that.
Yeah, dude, they draft really well. I don't think they're getting rid of Bosa though. I think Bosa's the one guy that you could consider on that team as untouchable.
Maybe, but look, that's a good question. This is a draft class to do a total rebuild. Yes, every draft class is, but because every draft class is different. The good thing for San Francisco is this is not a quarterback-heavy draft class. This is a lineman, offensive, defensive lineman. There's a lot of good linebackers, good running backs. Solid. You're not going to get massive, big-time receivers like you had last year, but there's still a lot of really solid receivers that you're going to pick up in the second, third, fourth round. This class is a good building block class.
It's a good defensive line class, too.
Yeah, the trenches. This is a good draft for the trenches. So, yeah, Luke, I would say this would be a great time for them to start.
Not to mention, think about all the guys we just talked about. If they shed all those contracts, and get picks for all those guys, I mean, they're gonna have somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 draft picks, dude. Like, you know what I mean? You could restock a roster pretty fast with that, dude. Like, I mean, it's not gonna be top to bottom a good roster, but you're gonna have, a good chunk of guys.
And they've got like what the Bears didn't have, right, in this process. A good coach. He's a good coach. I mean, he can't win the Super Bowl. He gets him there. he'll eventually win a Super Bowl. But I mean, they've got a good coach.
No. He hopes he's going to eventually win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but the point being, look, he's good enough coach. He gets teams to Super Bowls, right? He's a good coach. I mean, they have a coach in place, so if they've got their quarterback, they've got a solid coach. Realistically, they could be back in the hunt within 2 years easily. I mean, the problem is the fans never want to hear the reality of the fact is that you just have to sometimes know that you're going to really, really suck for a year or two, and be willing to fight it, and then not fire your coach over it because you're sabotaging your coach by getting rid of all this talent. So that's part of the problem in today's NFL because we sabotage coaches by getting rid of talent. Then we say, well, the coach sucks. No, he has no talent. The talent's gone. They're rebuilding.
But traditionally speaking, Ken, I don't think the Niners really have to worry about that much because every time the Niners suck, their fans just disappear.
Yeah.
It's like that Homer Simpson meme where he goes back into the shrub,
Hold on. Joe, you have no idea how absolutely perfect that is. Because I have a 49ers fan on my friends list. And whenever they suck, you don't hear a fucking peep about the 49ers, anything like that. But when they went to the Super Bowl, and I swear to God, this is almost a direct quote, and you're going to just about piss yourself with it, that this was the hardest working, most humble team I have ever seen play football. What? Come on. You are drinking that Santa Clara Kool-Aid way too much.
Dude, I've been a Raider fan my whole life, and the Niners were right across the bay from me. So I've grown up with Niner fans, and they claim 49er faithful, but there's very few. There are some, I will give them. I know some diehards who will still wear their Niners gear when they suck, but the majority of them, no, dude. They don't mention their team when they suck.
Well, Philip, our head coach did suck. That's why we fired him. So, it turned out he sucked. And we, it was funny on House Hall last night. We talked about it briefly. We were talking about Eberfluss. And the problem was, we were talking about his coaching style, and I compared him a lot to Phil Jackson. And he's kind of zenny, like Phil Jackson. The problem was, he never had his tech winners, right? The offensive guru to design his triangle offense for him. And he didn't have a guy who was a disciplinarian on that team. And that was Eberfluss's issue. He's a pretty good coach. Defensively, he draws up a great team. He's Phil Jackson, Zen-like-ish, if you're going to make a comparison to another coach. But the problem he didn't, unlike Phil Jackson, he didn't have that guy who instilled discipline in the team, held them accountable, and he didn't have that offensive guru. So, yeah, he sucked in that regard. Now look, he probably learned, and next time he gets the head coaching gig, I'm sure he'll be better. I mean, well, then again, McDaniels didn't prove his second coaching gig, but you hope he learns for his sake. But I mean, some of these head coach, you look at San Francisco, they've got a good head coach, so they can strip it down to Purdy and Bosa and rebuild and be back within 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I saw on Twitter that the Bears did not show up to Gentry's pro day.
Thank God.
That means they're drafting him.
I was just about to say that, Sarah. How many times have we seen in the league it happen where there's nobody from an organization there? Everybody's stricken them off the books, and holy shit, that's the name that came up on the card?
There was a guy on X yesterday in Bears Twitter talking about how awesome Gentry is, and he showed this clip how awesome Gentry was, right? And it was like a 20-yard run down the gut and then a touchdown. I'm like, I could have done that. He's like, no, you didn't. Look at all the blocks he shed, the tackles he sheds. And it's funny because the video clip had two angles. They had that big overview sideline angle, right? So you see, then you have one that was more from the field looking, field level. Okay, the line, his offensive line that opened up for him, he didn't even get touched. No one grabbed him coming through the line. And then when he got to the secondary, he did get touched. But look at all the broken tackles. The dude didn't try to tackle him. He tried to shoulder bump him down. It's like that wasn't a like this guy didn't do anything. What kind of this is not a highlight. Any running back could do this. Oh, but he's so awesome. No. Mike, I'm sorry, dude, but I mean the only reason I compare him to Phil Jackson, they both have like that Zen master thing, but Flus just hasn't mastered what Phil has. I mean, but there's really no one else to compare him to stylistically.
Eberflus just didn't have Michael Jordan.
Phil Jackson.
What now?
Eberflus just didn't have Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Like, it's easy to be a Zen master when you have Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and then you have Shaq and Kobe. Like, you know what I mean?
It felt like that was the kind of it. Like he was that kind of Zen-y kind of guy. That's why I made the comparison. And well, no, but because he had Tex winners. He had these other guys, and for whatever reason, I mean, but there's a comparison there, just his mental stuff. But yeah, I mean, he was bad. But San Francisco doesn't have that problem. They've got a good head coach. So take it down to San Francisco, rebuild it. You'll be back within 2 years. Just embrace the suck for 2 years. I mean,
what I really want to know is if they do rebuild, is Shanahan going to make it through the rebuild? From all the rumblings you're hearing among the 49ers fans on how much they don't like him and they want to get rid of him.
And that's the problem. And because of that, that's why they keep trying to do what they're doing right now. And inevitably what happens, the head coach gets fired, then they still have to tear it down to the studs and do a rebuild. So instead of taking like 2 years to do it right now they're not relevant for 5 to 10 years. Hi, Chicago Bears.
see the thing about that,
Vikings, we've all done it, but the thing is, like, the North kind of learned from it. Look what the Vikings, the Lions, the Bears have done, and even the Packers to a little degree changed up the course last year to avoid it. Other teams need to look at that, but then but the inverse is you look at a team like Carolina who did that, and they still suck. Well, you also have to have a competent GM. So if you have a competent GM and a competent head coach, you can successfully tear it down and rebuild it within 2 years. And I think San Francisco has it. They have a competent GM. They have a competent head coach. The fans will want to have them both fired because they're going to suck for 2 years, but they have to understand that's the plan. So you know what I wish they would do? I wish these guys would pull a Theo Epstein, making another baseball reference here. Or now we're going from basketball reference to baseball reference. Theo Epstein, when he took over the Cubs, was very plain and simple. As a guy, we're going to suck for a couple of years still. This is a 5-year process, right? It's going to be 5 years, and we'll deliver you something. And guess what? 5 years happen, and they deliver the World Series. If John Lynch comes out and says, hey, Niner fans, you're not going to like this. We're stripping it down to the stud. This is a 3-year plan. I'm not going to fire Shanahan. The ownership's not going to fire me. Know that we're not going to be at our best for the next couple of years while we rebuild and retool this thing. But if we don't do this, we're not going to be relevant for the next 5 to 10 years.
But if you're going to strip it down, why are you paying a quarterback $55 million?
Because quarterbacks are forever in a way. I mean, look at quarterbacks are going to last you 10 to 15 years in this league if you get a good one, right? Other positions do not. So look at the Chargers. Lock down the quarterback, right, and then rebuild around him because he's going to be there for a while, right? So a good quarterback, especially if you drafted him, you're going to get 10, 15 years out of them if they're good. They have a longer lifespan in the NFL unless they pull an Andrew Luck and just decide to retire after 8 years out of the blue.
I don't know. I'm not paying Brock $55 million, man. That's crazy.
Well, you know what? I don't disagree with you, but that's kind of like, unfortunately, where the market's at.
40-45. And to me, that's still an overpay, but that's going market value, so I'd give it to him. I wouldn't go in that 55 range for Purdy. If it was me personally and I got to pick, I'd take him for like 25 mil, something like that.
I mean, 48 is what Goff is getting, and Purdy's at least Goff level contract-wise. I mean, it's not a huge overreach.
I put him just behind Goff. So instead with Goff getting 48, give him 45.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a huge overreach if they give him 55, get 55, because they're thinking long term, like in 3 years, that money is like going to be to them. Their bank is going to seem cheap. Sometimes
See, I go the opposite direction. If I'm John Lynch, I go ahead and trade Purdy too, because the next year's quarterback class is strong. You're gonna suck this year anyway, so you're gonna have a chance with all the other picks like that you're gonna get for trading off for having the fire sale. You have more than enough ammunition to get whatever quarterback you want in next year's draft. Like reset your quarterback pay scale, and just start a bunch of scrubs, man. If it was me, I'd go out and get Nate Peterman for $3 million and let him run the offense. Because he's going to guarantee me 2 wins. Like,
Joe, I would agree with you on that for almost any team out there in this league except for the 49ers, with the caveat of that could work. But you got to take Kyle Shanahan and move him to a different state and not let him pick the fucking quarterback, because we saw what happens when Kyle Shanahan picks his fucking guy.
Yeah, and Philip, the last quarterback we had with any longevity was Jay Cutler, and we wasted a lot of Jay Cutler. Like Jay Cutler was a darn good quarterback, and we wasted a lot of Jay Cutler because he had bad coaching decisions, bad drafting decisions around him. That was the last quarterback that actually. He was in Chicago, 6-7 years? That goes back to the argument. If you have a good franchise quarterback, you're going to get, hopefully 8 to 10 years with them or more. That just furthers the argument. So just beyond Goff, if you got Goff, the top 3 quarterback, Purdy, look at Purdy's not a bad.
Who has Goff as a top 3 quarterback?
That's why my eyes just lit up. I would put Goff in top 3. I'd
Goff
argue
top 3? That's like freaking crazy.
Yeah, I'd arguably give Goff that teeter position of like somewhere around 5, 6, something like that.
Like I think he's top 10.
Yeah, absolutely in the top 10. But I'd put him around the teeter spot of top 5, top 6, something like that.
Yeah, Mitch Broski might be unable to join today. He gets a day here and there where he can't make it in. But usually if we invoke the Broski name, he shows up.
49ers fans were complaining about how Brock can't play in cold weather. And so it's like, if your quarterback can't play in cold weather, why the hell are you paying him $55 million? Just like Tua.
He said, name 4 that are better. Let's see. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
There you go.
Well, he's going to come back and say, well, Goff led the league in touchdowns the past 3 years if you combined all 3 years together.
If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
Well, in today's day and age, that might be possible.
Oh. I mean,
I can keep going. Like, I think C.J. Stroud is better than Jared Goff, if I'm being honest. I think Jaden Daniels last year played phenomenal. Like, who's to say that by the end of this year that he's not going to be a top 5 guy?
Well, every one of those guys that we've mentioned has won an MVP, and Goff has not yet.
Yeah, Motown Mitch is a Lions fan there, Bear Down Mike.
No one is taking Goff over Burrow. No one is taking Goff over Jackson. No one is taking Goff over Mahomes or Allen, except Lions fans.
Yep. I was going to say, and that's why all those other guys won MVPs and Goff did not.
Well, Burrow hasn't, but he was a finalist.
I'll say this, your A-home, hey, Sarah, you have the opportunity to take either Goff or Caleb Williams as your quarterback. Which one you taking?
Can I pick neither?
You're fired. You're fired. You're presented an option. You can take one or two quarterbacks. The Sarah doesn't understand the rules of the game. Obviously, you consider one of the other.
Speaking
Caleb,
speaking
or
no
you-
English. You don't know.
You're missing the whole point of the exercise. Joe,
You don't understand
Caleb, or you
English.
can take Goff. Which one you take?
But I guess I would take Goff for now just because he's a veteran. But give Caleb like a year or two. I might take Caleb. I'm just saying I'm taking Goff right now because if my team is ready to win and he's a veteran, I'm gonna go with him.
All right, Joe. What about you?
Yeah, I the way Goff has played the last couple years, I would take Goff. But again, I agree with Sarah. Like, give it a couple years, I might choose Caleb. Like, if he starts to show his potential.
Caleb has a much higher ceiling, but a lot lower floor as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, Dorn.
Contract wise, Caleb. In 2 years, Caleb will be a backup. Okay, I'm gonna take Caleb, and I'm gonna tell you why. He doesn't turn the ball over like Goff does under pressure. Five interceptions all last year. Okay, five. I mean, freaking Goff had that in almost one freaking game against the Bears. Right? The thing in this league is, keep not turning the ball over. Goff, when pressured, is he's just like a floodgate of interceptions and turning the ball over. That's why I take Caleb more than anything. I think
Goff had 5 picks against the Texans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In one game, he totaled Caleb's entire season of picks. In one game. I mean, just because of the rest of the Bears team sucked and he took 68 fucking sacks doesn't mean you know what I'm saying? I mean, but look at you would think that Caleb would have more turnovers because of that. Yet he didn't. He said he has second all time. If you gotta understand, you know, Caleb set a rookie record that he is second all time, only behind Aaron Rodgers on pass attempts without interception. Second all time in his first season. That's stupid. I mean, Goff did it in one freaking game. That's why I'm not taking Goff because when you put pressure on him, he's like a hooker on a busy Friday night, dropping to his knees.
Oh, so is that why his backup's hooker?
That's why his backup is hooker, and they like to gamble there.
Damn.
I'm just saying, you put look at the NFC champ or the playoff game. He was terrible under pressure. Like you can see, like he's got him. Like I don't know. There's just something about like Goff. You can make Ben Johnson made him look really, really pretty. But the Bears 2 years ago showed how you can make him look ugly. They said, okay, we'll find a fix for that. They did. They made him look pretty, and then teams figured it out. They made him look really, really ugly again.
Like I said, if the Rams thought they could win a Super Bowl with Goff, they would have kept him.
Oh.
They knew they couldn't, and they traded his ass and went and won the Super Bowl.
So with the previous comment of twice the wide receiver core, does that mean that DJ Moore is better than St. Brown? And then because McVay sucks, it's really hard to suck as a head coach if you've won a Super Bowl.
Well, they took Stafford and immediately won a Super Bowl. Look at you replaced Goff with Stafford, boom, they win a Super Bowl. I mean, hello. And you know, you look at this Bears offense compared to the Lions offense last year. Our offense was terrible, by comparison, and we had a for shit OC for over half the year, and then we had the interim. So, dude, Mitch, come on, man. I mean, I
don't understand why Lions fans are upset. Like, no, none of us are saying that Goff isn't good. We're just saying that he's not top 5.
I would say, look, in the division, he's the third quarterback I take. In the division. The only quarterback I don't take over Goff right now is JJ. Because, well, he's a rookie. He hasn't played yet. All the other two starters, I would take Love, and I would take Caleb over him any day of the week.
Hold on, go back to that last comment. Did he say that the top three? Oh my Lord! So saying that Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen are better than Jared Goff is a horrible take.
Okay, let me rephrase this question. Everyone, because Mitch stepped into it today. Look at Mitch. First off, respect for your you're supporting your team, and I like to see that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It does. If you had an opportunity and you're presented this opportunity, you have to take one of 4 quarterbacks. You have to take either Mahomes, Burrow, or one of 5 quarterbacks. You have to take Mahomes, Burrow, Allen,
Lamar,
Jackson,
Lamar, or
Goff.
Goff. Where are you taking Goff in that scenario? And I'll start with Joe.
5.
Sarah.
5.
10.
Yep.
Yeah, me too. Anyone in the comments besides Mitch disagree?
And honestly, I would take Jaden Daniels over Goff.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to know what this argument reminds me of? And it's because of something that I used to do. This argument of let's talk about this number, that number on why he's so much better than other quarterbacks reminds me of the arguments I used to make that Rodgers was better than Brady. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
Nick was like, I'm a Lions fan, and I agree. Like, he's the 5th guy you take.
And he's 5 with a caveat because there's other guys that I might consider too that weren't on the list.
Wait, only quarterback in the division I would
My
take
God.
AJ. Only one that has not proved to be worse.
My God.
He's got to be either trolling or he's just straight up delusional, dude.
What did he say?
He said the only quarterback in the division that he would take over Goff is JJ because JJ hasn't proven to be worse. So he's saying that Jordan Love is not as good as Goff.
Mitch, I mean, seriously, in that I mean, you would take Goff over those other 4 quarterbacks for your story. You know what? They all have proven they can win big games.
Let's bring up one stat. Oh man. Okay, how about playoff wins? Like, come on, dude. Like, you guys went one and done. You won 15 games last year and went one and done. That's an opinion right there. Like, you won 15 games last year and then lost in the first round of the playoffs to a rookie quarterback.
Yeah. Who outplayed Goff. I mean,
who outplayed Goff by a mile.
No one's saying
in fact, didn't he put up like 45 points on you guys?
Like Goff, no one's saying he's a horrible quarterback, Mitch. Not at all. But like with that list of 5, oh yeah, I'm taking him last every time because those other guys are just better. Like
I just want to like reframe it so that Mitch can see how ridiculous his argument really is, dude. So you're saying that because Jared Goff threw more touchdown passes than Patrick Mahomes, that he's a better quarterback than a guy who's been in the Super Bowl for the last God knows how many years, has made the AFC Championship game every year of his career, whether he had a good team around him or not. You're saying that Goff is better than that guy. That's your argument? And you're telling us that we're a shitty panel, that we have a terrible take? Buddy, you need to lay off the crack pipe.
Stats aren't everything. Kirk gave us nice stats for 6 years. What did we get out of those nice stats? Absolutely shit.
We're not talking about love, Mitch. We're talking. I just gave you an example.
But like in the division,
show me what makes Goff better than Patrick Mahomes.
Other than stats.
Like Mitch, I'll give you a little credence on that. Like I wouldn't say he's not near as good as Goff. I'd say right now they're very comparable. And there are some Packer fans who are upset with the contract Love got, and maybe rightfully so after last season's overall performance. But to be honest, there's not much difference between Love and Goff, except like Love seems to have more of a mojo magic about it that you don't ever hear about with Goff. And some that has hype and some that has announcers, and I'd agree with that counter. But I wouldn't say he's not near as good as Goff. I'd say Love and Goff Love, Goff, Caleb, they're all pretty similar right now because they've all got a positive over each other, right? Like with Caleb, he doesn't turn the ball over, right? Goff, he puts up good numbers. Love seems to pull out, that magic fourth quarter win in the old Green Bay tradition like Favre and Rodgers. So that each of one of them has a thing about them, but none of them are like Burrow or these guys who just have like this massive, I don't want to call it mojo, but like I would take any of those other four guys over any of these other starters in NFC North right now. I mean, I would take Mahomes over all of them. I would take Burrow over all of them. I would take Josh Allen over all of them. I would take Lamar over all of them. I mean, they bring some other, they got good skills. They have these other intangibles that our quarterbacks, some of them are developing. Some of them just don't have. I mean, Goff's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. Okay, so let's look at this stat. How many years does Goff have as a starter compared to Williams and Love? Love has 2. Williams has 1. Goff has what now? 6, 7 years as a starter?
More than that.
JJ, because he hasn't even played yet. So if that's your stat line,
and Jordan Love has 2 full seasons under his belt, and Caleb has 1 full season under his belt. Like, come on, dude. You want to compare playoff wins? How about you compare them against the people that we said were better? How many playoff wins does Patrick Mahomes have? How many does Josh Allen have? How many does Joe Burrow have? Compare those against Goff, and then we'll see.
You go even better. How many does Purdy have?
Probably more than Goff.
Less time.
Half the time, the same amount of playoff wins.
So look,
that's what I'm saying, dude.
I mean, yeah, but look at.
You're on an island by yourself, Mitch.
I would give Mitch some credit for staying up for his team as he should. That's fine. That's good. We all should. But I mean,
dude, I love my team. I love the Raiders. But if I sat here and said I would take Geno Smith over Joe Burrow, you would laugh me off the panel. Like,
no, and you know what, Mitch? I agree with that. I think wins are a team stat because there are games that Kirk Cousins should have won that his defense just gave away. There are games that I mean, any quarterback you can look at. There are games where the quarterback put him in a position to win, and the defense gave it away. I mean, it happened. Look, it happened to Cutler. They had the number 2 offense in the league and the worst defense in the league. He put them in position to win every game, and the defense like, here, hold our beer. We're going to give up another touchdown real quick. I mean, you're right on that. You're right.
Except that Mitch now he says team wins are not a quarterback stat, but he was just fine using it as a quarterback stat 2 minutes ago when he was talking about Goff's 5 playoff wins.
Hey, he's making for great conversation today, so I respect him for that.
It's like, be consistent, dude. Like, understand, like, you've been exposed.
QBR and still lose a game, and you have a great QBR and still not win championships. I mean, QBR is nice. It's like a PFF stat. It's not saying he's a bad quarterback, but
no.
Unfortunately, we have hit that time though.
Oh, yeah, I got to hit the hey. Thank you so much. Please be back tomorrow. Let's continue this. We'll see you all tomorrow morning at 10 in the morning. Everyone have a great rest of your day. Thanks, guys.